Somebody called the dog too old. Somebody called the dog too old. I don't wanna die no more. What the hell are we fighting for?
Monday, January, I don't know. It's Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday birthday extravaganza. And we're at the Bellagio because I see no better way to spend this day but to get a few hours in before having to pick my daughter up at 3. It is currently 11. We're going to try to get some reps in here at Bellagio 510, and we're going to try to make some things happen quickly.
Don't go. Mama said, please don't go. She said, son, you're gonna die for sure if you fight the devil's war.
Not a lot of time today. Not a lot of time at all. We have at most 3.5 hours to get something going, good or bad. Daytime poker sessions typically aren't where the action is, but we'll see what we can do. It doesn't take long before we find our first playable hand in Ace-King offsuit. The table dynamic is about what you would expect from the poker day game crowd. Mostly older, mostly fit or full types, and a couple of tourists that probably have a flight to catch in a few hours. At a quick glance, there don't appear to be any of the normal Bellagio regs at this must-move game. Yet. We open our hand to $30 from the cutoff and get a super quick call from the button and another from the small blind. 3 ways is manageable. 10, 6, 9 rainbow is our reward. With the small blind checking, the action is on us and there really isn't much we can do with this flop. It misses me completely and smacks their calling range right in the face. I could just c-bet here and hope for the best, but I think checking is fine too, which is what I do. The button checks behind and hopefully I'll reap the benefits of getting a free turn card. The benefits are not really reaped. The Queen of Diamonds, although adding a gut shot to this overhyped garbage hand, doesn't do much besides likely improve everyone else. Small blind checks. We check again and now the button takes the helm with a $60 bet. When the small blind comes along, we decide to come along as well with the delusions of grandeur that a non-diamond jack is going to magically fall onto the felt. Needless to say, it doesn't. What comes is the only card wearing formal attire that doesn't improve my hand. Another queen. Action checks around to the button again, and now he bets $300. The small blind folds, and I quickly follow suit. It's at this point the button reveals his hand. 4-5 of spades. Him arriving on the turn with the stone bottom of his range and betting? That's fine. Him continuing on the river as he can't possibly win with 5 high? Again, fine. Nice play. The unrequested tabling of his hand, that's the chef's kiss. That's information that he probably shouldn't be just giving out for free. Ironic, me saying this as I do voiceover for a free vlog. From this one hand, I can tell a lot about this man.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
He's apparently seeking approval from strangers, most likely because his father left the family when he was a young child. The stepdad, who his mother married very quickly afterwards, didn't really pan out as the father figure she had hoped, and left him with a sense that his mom wasn't entirely faithful to his real father. This in turn leads him to distrust all women, hence the continued attacks when queens appear on 4th and 5th streets. This manifests in his life by his inability to hold a relationship together. His current girlfriend, which he's probably been seeing for about a month, tops, has no idea he's even in Vegas right now, much less at a casino. He's probably supposed to be at a seminar in Seattle. Using this information, I planned on adjusting my play versus this man going forward, but apparently he proved his point with this bluff and left the game immediately after. I took his seat. About 10 minutes later, we walk into this nightmare. Remember, this is a day game. That matters. An OMC limps into the pot from under the gun. I've only been here for 10 minutes, and I've seen this guy open normally before, so I'm a little weary of this limp. Action folds to the button, and he is in the process of raising the $50 when I look down at pocket jacks. Oh boy. Big blind jacks versus a button open, clear raise. Big blind jacks versus this shady limp in a button raise in a day game, I could be almost stone dead. I hedge my options and just call as I flip the cover on the eject button and hover my hand over it. Sure enough, as soon as my 5 chips hit the felt, the small blind reaches for more chips. Many more chips. He snap limp re-raises to $220. There's a long tank, and then the button re-raises to $540. Also a child from a broken home and dealing with insecurity issues myself, I show my neighbor my jacks so that he can be proud of me before they hit the muck. Action is now back on the limp re-raising under the gun player, and he tanks. It's a long one. 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and 22 milliseconds. Trust me, I know exactly how long it was before he calls. Heads up, they see a flop of 6 of hearts, 6 of spades, 7 of clubs, and then something interesting happens. The under the gun player now just donks out for $240. So, limp to limp raise to infinite tank call to donk bet. This is special. 43 seconds later, he's met with the buttons all in shove for about $1,200, and 44 seconds after that, the under the gun player folds. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that my jacks probably weren't good. The very next hand, I fold Jack 5 offsuit in the small blind, and although there is another collision between the now big blind and now cutoff and hijack, it isn't very bloody and the hijack wins. However, the hand following that, I'm on the button and look down at jacks again and another under the gun limper in play. This time, I raise to $50. The small blind, our infinite tanker from 2 hands ago, calls and the under the gun limper calls. Well, okay then. Deuce 6-3 with 2 spades. A pretty ho-hum type flop, low and connected. Definitely better for the callers than it is for me, the raiser. It's way more likely that they have sets than I do, and there's a very slim chance that the small blind specifically could have potentially, possibly, maybe flopped a straight. I mean, it's possible. As I'm debating over how this board hits their range and what I need to do about it, the player to my left donks, just as he did after his long tank mere minutes ago. $70. The under the gun limper folds, and although the small blind may have a really strong hand here, he also has a ton of draws. Straight draws, flush draws, 1 pair with a draw. There's a billion of them. We call. The 9 of spades falling on the turn completes the front door flush draw, and the small blind continues leading. $170. I tank for a bit on this one. With no spade in my hand, this increases the likelihood that he has spades in his. The fact that he was a pre-flop caller increases the chances that his hand is suited, as there are far more suited hands than unsuited hands in the small blind's calling range. However, his general demeanor and previous spastic behavior lead me to just not believe him. I can't explain it. I just don't believe him at all, and I have a pretty decent hand myself. I call, and I don't plan on folding unless another spade falls. The river pair's a 9, which counterfeits some of the wacky 2 pair he may have flopped, and now he just shoves. He just shoves all in for $665. It's giving go away vibes. Snap call. I beat him into the pot.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Show me. He says, I have an ace, shows ace 5 offsuit, and flips his cards into the muck.
Should've got you
And I mean, super quick mid-session update for this session on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It took a bit, took maybe 30 minutes or so, but I got a seat at a must-move 510 game. There are 2 510 games going. I'm at the must-move, and so far things are going great. Early in the session, I made a pretty standard fold with pocket jacks after there was a limp, a raise, a call, and a re-raise. A couple hands later, I stacked the same limper with jacks. When I believe I was on the button, I played an interesting pot with ace-jack suited, where I folded the turn, and about 5 minutes ago, I just check-raised the guy with ace-jack of hearts. So that's where we are. I'm in the game for more than 1,500. I think I'm in the game for 1,600, and I currently have more than that, so things are going. And I think right now I have about $2,000 in front of me, and I am maybe 2 people away from being moved to the main game. The main game doesn't look as good as the must move, but the main game never looks as good as the must move. So like I said, super quick mid-session update. It is about 1 o'clock. I have maybe another hour and a half before I have to take off and pick up my daughter. So we're trying to get some things done. For a couple more uneventful orbits at the must move, we get shuffled over to the main game, and to my dismay, get seated right in the middle of the table, which is, by my account, the worst seat in the game. Not only for vlogging reasons, as it cuts off the ends of the screen on video, but also because watching hands unfold makes me feel like I'm center court at a tennis match. It is what it is, and after folding a few hands, we soon find our first playable one. Under the gun opens to $40, and we look down at pocket queens in the big blind. Before action gets to us, though, the button 3-bets, and he 3-bets really large, $140. We don't often have to put on the cold 4-bet hat in these games, but here we are. We make it $350, and the under the gun player quickly gets out of the way. Action is now on the button, and he thinks about this, but doesn't think very long before he calls the $350. Now, in my mind, there aren't many hands that are just calling a 4-bet here. Aces might. Kings almost never. Ace-king? Sure. But the most likely candidates? Jacks and 10s. I obviously rule out queens because I'm holding 2 of them. One positive of the middle seat is that you viewers can get to see me flop dead in 4K. King, Jack, 7, rainbow. So the vast majority of the hands that I was beating pre-flop now have me crushed. I abandoned the normal continuation betting protocol, and mentally, I'm ready to move on to the next hand. I check. The button bets $400, which at this point is only going to get called by kings or ace-king, not queens. My hand pretty quickly finds the discard pile, and he shows me pocket jacks.
Queens?
Queens.
Queens?
Yeah. I was like, no jack, no 10. No jack, no 10. The jack was scarier than the king.
Everybody owes a jack.
Yeah, the jack was way scarier. He asked if I had queens, and I confirmed that I did. Recording didn't capture the very beginning of this hand, so I'll just tell you what I had. This hand begins with a cutoff open to $30, and we find one of the rare hands that mostly just calls from the small blind. Ace-10 suited. The big blind tags along, and the 3 of us are off to a flop. King of hearts, 9 of hearts, 7 of clubs. Okay. Now we're cooking with grease. Top pair draw, flush draw, 10 draw, backdoor straight draw, all the draws, and we have ace high, no pair locked up already. Good things. We start with a check, and the big blind checks behind us, and all is great until the cutoff spoils the fun with his flop overbet. $140. Well, that's not cool. We aren't folding, but overbetting flops are still not the neighborly thing to do. The big blind has seen enough. He folds. Heads up to the turn, and well, it's a good one. The 6 of hearts. We check again because if the cutoff is hell-bent on destroying the neighborhood, who am I to say stop? However, he must have seen the error of his ways or be scared of that 6 because there are no rounds fired on this street. The river deuce of diamonds is as blank as can be, and there's no reason for me to think that the cutoff will start betting again if I check to him. So I must bet. I wager $250, but he's not interested. In one of the last hands we play this session, we open pocket 10s from under the gun to $30 and only get action from the cutoff, whom up to this point, we haven't seen play many hands. Although the flop of ace of diamonds, 5 of hearts, 7 of clubs is pretty good for our range, being out of position sucks. We check to see what the cutoff's plans are, and he just checks it back. The turn 3 of diamonds puts 2 diamonds on the board, and again we check. On this board, we are fine with just getting this hand to showdown, as it might be pretty hard to get more value out of it. When the cutoff bets $40, we decide to call as we still beat a lot of draws. The river 8 of diamonds changes that story though. Now we lose to many of the draws, not to mention that meddling ace that's staring me in the face. We check again and quickly fold when the cutoff bets another $40.
Somebody call the dogs who won. Somebody call the dogs who won. Fight the devil's war.
Look, I know the rules. We don't do the end of session wrap-ups in the public parking garage. I know this. But I gotta leave here, I gotta pick up Jada. And my car door is wide open. So we can flee quickly. And thirdly, it's Martin Luther King Jr. holiday birthday day. Not gonna rob me on Martin Luther King Jr. holiday birthday day? How rude. So, that being said, in the game for 1,700 out for 1885, so we're up 185, which, meh, we would have been up a little bit more had we not run queens into jacks in a 4-bet pot, and I think we lost a little pot with pocket 10s on an ace high flop, but other than that, I can't complain. 3-4 hours in, out, now we got to get out of here. So I hope you enjoyed this short vlog because I can't picture this thing being more than 15 minutes. But if you liked it, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. I'll probably respond. And I'll catch you next time. Share it amongst your friends. I don't know. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
To win it again, I let the energy in, then I can maneuver. You should be witnessing this. I gotta win it again. I'm on an energy kick. I gotta maneuver. Godspeed, I let a challenger rally up. I'm on a mission to turn it up. Sharpen the blade, I get it done. Don't get the energy crossed up. Hate on the vision, they lost us. Wanted the best and they called one. I am really feeling awesome. Are you ready? Wanted the pressure, I never complain. Shake it off and get back in the game. Pay the cost, now you making your name. You can maneuver, move around. Now they ready for war, they ready for change. Head down, gotta stay in your lane. Keep calm when the energy change. On the dime, gotta stop maneuver.
I'm kind of still on the fence about the 5-10-20 game. If I'm going to vlog it, if I'm going to show much of it.
I got out of the dark to keep it light. You can let the city make a judgment. Program malfunction. I tore it down, then I jumped ship. Yeah.
Witness the power of this. I'm about to win it again. I let the energy in, then I can maneuver. You should be witnessing this.
What else do I have to say?
If you like the vlogs, Just hit that button, share.
You just say it.
Do all the things. If you like the vlogs, leave a comment. I might get back to you, probably. All
Walk around through this whole video, the whole thing, just to see my mistakes? Okay, I'll show you. Whatever. It's Sunday, January 15th, I think, middle of January 2023. And before we get started with this whole vlogging effort, I want to give a big shout out to Lily Newhouse.
Did I do it? Oh my god, did I do it?
Who won her first circuit ring last night on WSOP.com. Congratulations to Lily. Hopefully many more to come in 2023. But with all that said, Bellagio, 510. Little fun fact for you, I just recorded the opening. I said I was headed to the Bellagio, but that was a lie. I'm actually headed to the grocery store. I gotta go in the grocery store to get some things, and then I'm gonna head to the Bellagio. But here's the deal. It's my vlog. I can do what I want. I don't have to go directly to the Bellagio when I need things from the grocery store. So we're gonna go to the grocery store, then we're going to the Bellagio. And that's just what's gonna happen. Go do a quick mid-session update. I'm in the game right now for more than 1,500, maybe 1,600, maybe 17. I don't know. Let's just go with 1,600, and I am Monday, January, which is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, or the federally observed holiday that is his birthday, something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Safety first in case any criminals try to come up. You're not gonna mess with me on Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. There's other days to get me.
All mornings are the same. I don't wanna play this game. Let me go back to sleep.